Yes, I like gangbangs. I like being manhandled by several different men at once. If you want to call it being ran, you call it whatever the fuck you want. I'm sexually liberated. And I'm a goddess, and I deserve to have hands all over my body. Right. I deserve to be worshipped. Like, why not? I deserve that attention.
All right, someone said he gonna keep playing that audio. I gotta play it for the new people that come in. Sephora, go ahead and unmute. Sephora, let's get right into it. Sephora, what are your initial thoughts from that audio? And as a woman, hearing her say what she said, do you feel empowered by that?
100%. I just think it's brave to just say that. Like it's because there's a lot of things that people want to do and they don't say that they want to do it, but they actually want to do it. So the fact that she's able to freely just say that she does this and, you know, she's comfortable with it, then in a way it's like, thank you. You know, for the ones that are not able to speak out or even do that and just think about it and not actually act on it.
So as a woman, and this isn't even part of my question, but like I said, there's a lot of women in the comments of this video. And even when I said this at the start of the stream, what I'm about to say right now, there were women in the comments that said I was speaking facts. So there's a lot of women that said that this is actually something a lot of women desire, but they just don't voice it, you know, in fear of being bashed and ostracized. So as a woman, is there any validity to that statement that there are women that, you know, a good amount of women that actually desire, this sort of act?
Well, I can only speak for myself. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
I don't know. I've actually, in any friend group I've ever been in, I've been the one that's most vocal. I've been the one that's so free to talk about sex. So there's a lot of women who are not comfortable with talking about that or their preferences and stuff. And I was raised in a really strict religion to where sex is almost shamed on and you feel guilty about it. And I lost my virginity at a really old age. So not an old age, but way later than most people, you know? So it was never it was something that it's like shameful to talk about in the country that I'm from and the religion that I was raised in, but being my own person and finding my own self and my sexuality, I think it's not really because we don't want to be judged. I think your sex life should be private, period, so that whatever works for you should just be known for you and whoever you're having sex with, and not really just like a public thing. You know what I mean? That way you don't get people's opinions. And because, you know, for you to even do something like that, you have to know yourself in a very high level. You have to be confident enough to not only believe and act on it, but to tell others. You know what I mean? Like, because you know you're gonna get judged, so there's that barrier that you built, that, you know, whatever somebody say, you're not gonna really feel some type of way because you know yourself and you stand your ground on it. So really, it's
Where are you from?
I'm Haitian.
Okay, cool. Really quick, since you said, because we're having a serious conversation. Like, I'm not trying to crack jokes. I don't come here to crack jokes. Like, I come here to have serious conversations. So you said that, you know, her saying that was empowering to you. You said that, you know, for a woman to even be able to say something like that, she really has to know herself. She really has to be in tune with her sexuality. And okay, so while you can't, you know, speak, you know, for everyone or a large majority of women, on the question that I asked you, have you ever desired something like that before?
That's the only thing that gets me turned on. Like, if I'm watching any type of thing, like, it has to be more than one guy. But I've never actually done that, and it's something I think about and I fantasize about. But it all depends on your route in life. Like me, I want to be a wife. Like, when I think of myself, I think of myself as getting married and having a husband. So it's never something that it's not something that I'm gonna actually act on and plan out. You know what I mean? So It's just something I
All
think
right.
about and I fantasize about. And I feel like every woman, it's healthy for you to have one thing that's your kink or something that you like, but that's just a secret to you. You know, I feel like it's more sacred that way instead of just like blatantly just telling everyone, especially on social
All
media.
right. Yeah, we gonna get to something that you said in the last question. What does being sexually liberated mean to you?
I think sexually liberated means it's in the word liberty. Like you're free. You are free to do whatever sexual thoughts or sexual desires come to your mind, and you're able to explore it. And I do think it's different in hypersexuality because you could um some people just don't like sex at all. Then there's people who actually enjoy it, but then there's people who enjoy it and also it's an addiction to them. Like they have to have it or they think about it all the time.
Right.
That's hypersexual. But
Right.
some people are hypersexual, but they're not they're not sexually liberated because they can think about it and play with themselves or whatever they please themselves, but they will never act on actually doing it or being free enough to do it, if that makes sense.
Right. So you do believe that there is a thin line between hypersexuality and being sexually liberated.
Yeah.
Okay. So do you with women like women like women like the woman in this video that are bold enough to say things like she said in this video. Do you think most of these women are sexually liberated, or do you think most of them are hypersexual?
I think that there. I
And the reason I ask
I'll say
because
I'll say I'm
the reason I asked
hypersexual.
because at the very end of the video,
Mm-hmm.
she said I need that attention or something like
Right.
that. She used the word attention. If she
Right.
wouldn't have said attention, I probably really wouldn't even have really look too deep into it. But when you say things like I deserve or I need that
I
attention,
think what
like
she
you
meant I think what she meant was more attention in bed. Like I think what she meant was more sexual attention. It wasn't really like, oh, I need attention, so I need every guy to like. So it was mostly like whoever I picked to do this with have to give me that attention. Or I don't think it was like a broad type of attention. I think it's specific to that thing. You know what I mean? Like that action itself, just being in a room with more than one man. But
all right.
me personally, I would say I'm hypersexual. Like being in a relationship, just turning 26, I feel like my hormones are going through the roof. But I don't think I'm that liberated because I would never go and tell my boyfriend, let's have a threesome or let's get oh, this is my fantasy, or I'm not I don't think I'm liberated enough or think that this is something that I need to do. But I am hypersexual with the man that I'm with, or just even when I'm not with him, that all I can think about is the next time we're gonna do it again. So that's just
All
as an
right.
example, right?
Do you think it's appropriate that women like yourself who don't spread yourself thin support these sexually liberated women that do? Because again, you said in what the first and second question that I asked you, you said I want to be married one day, so
Right.
I'm not necessarily going to act on these thoughts and things that I have of that nature. So basically what you're saying is if you, as much as you probably do want to act on some of these thoughts, you know that there's consequences, and being that you know that you want to be married, you know that most men is probably not gonna want to marry you, or your chick. The likelihood of men
Right.
seeing you as wife material is going to significantly go down if you
Definitely.
engage in behavior like this. So again, all these women that say that they don't move like this and it's not for them and they don't really agree with it, but in the same breath they're going to support the women that do and say hey, it's your body, girl, do what you want to do. So you know that there's negative consequences, but you still encouraging your sister to do it. Are they
Well,
right for that,
you're
or is
only
it detrimental to do that?
you can only encourage someone that already want to do something. You can't. It's not like you put the thought in their mind. Their intention is to do that. Um, but you know that's I feel like that's just support in general, or just like, oh, okay, like my opinion, won't change anything, even if I didn't want you to do this. But, you know, just you being free and having a different state of mind and about, you know, sexual relations, you know, do it. It's because I want to hear about it, even though, you know, I would want someone to go after what they want, so then they can teach me and tell me, and I could be like, oh wow, like, you know, you did that, like that's an experience you want to go through, that's something you want to do.
But
You know,
what if your girlfriend
mm-hmm.
told you that I do want to be married, I do want to have like a husband and kids, I want to have a family one day, and
Right.
you know that engaging, you know, being out here moving a certain way is not going to, like, you know, be beneficial for getting those results, you still gonna encourage her to do it?
um that's kind of tricky, right? So let me put myself in
But
the
it's no
position.
different. It's
Oh no,
no
no,
different. Look,
I'll answer.
it's no different from me saying that I don't do drugs.
Right.
But if Rebel wants to be out here popping pills, even though I don't do drugs and I know it's not good to pop pills, and I'm gonna tell
Well,
Rebel, well, listen, if that's what you want to do, go ahead and do it. But
right,
because it's not gonna affect me, it's still gonna be detrimental to him in the long run.
right.
So it's
So
really kind of
let me tell
detrimental
you my
for me
answer.
to support him doing it.
So it's really about, at the end of the day, my support won't mean anything if, so basically me telling you, oh yeah, I'm behind you, I stand on this, is not gonna make you do it or not do it. You're gonna end up doing whatever you're gonna do regardless. So in my opinion, putting myself in her shoes and being that person that's, you know what, I want to be married, but I also, because I am that person, like I also want to try this, or I think of this all the time. But what's most priority for me is marriage. So it's never gonna be something that I would literally bring up to a friend for them to weigh in their opinions, because I already know what's stronger for me. That, like, which decision is stronger to act on. But there's always there's also like hey, like I'm gonna travel. There's people do spontaneous things. Like I want to travel the world and I want to meet different men, and I want that experience. Like some people would take a time out of their life and make it a journey to do something just once, and then, you know, it's like, okay, cool, like I got it out of my system. Now it's like, you know, there's that too. Like somebody might want to just try something once, but if you want to pick it up as a lifestyle, like, yeah, I want this all the time and like this and that, then that's different.
All right. So Ford, do you have any last things you want to say before I go to the next person?
Yeah, that I don't know if it was naysayer, was, I think she was the one that spoke first. She said that she knows that some women don't get turned on with just one eggplant, but that's why they do multiple eggplants. It's to come. It's not, you know what I mean? So if one won't do it, having two or three will definitely get the job done. That was like what I wanted to say when she said that.
Okay, let me ask you one more question before I let you go. Since you know you said you're hypersexual and whatnot, can you listen? Can you tell me why you think at least a lot of women have a hard time climaxing when they engage in physical intimacy with a man, but a machine that they got to put batteries in and, you know, turn on to a certain level, and it can't talk to them, it can't kiss them, it can't lick them, it can't suck them, it can't do any of that. Why is it that that machine can like get them off in less than a minute, but with a man they just like they have all these issues? Like, do you listen? I'm gonna tell you what I think, and then you can tell me whether you agree or disagree with what you think. I personally think that, you know, a lot of women are over engaging in toy use. So now when they get with a real man, their body just really like isn't able to like adapt, because, you know, you're so used to using your rose and whatever else that you expect the man's like real tongue and a man's real Johnson to do what the toy can do, and it just really don't work like that. So
Right.
what do you think? What do you think? Why do you think women are having such a hard time climaxing when, you know, they do things with men?
Um, First, I think using a toy means you're using it, so you're controlling it. That's number one. Number two is you know where to put it and you know where to keep it to get you to that level. Number two. Number three is when you're having you know, sexual relations with a man, he's also pleasuring himself. So it's a 50-50 type of thing. Also, a lot of women do not climax through penetration. That also comes in play. You know, there's just a lot of factors to it. But I think in general, if you know I don't keep toys around. I will use it when I'm not in a relationship, and I would barely use it. But if I am in a relationship, I don't use it. If it's not with my partner, I guess. But and again, it all depends on some people some people just don't enjoy head, or they don't enjoy penetration. Like, it all depends on your preference and what your goal is to accomplish during sex.
Okay, but again, why is it that like, again, that toy, that little machine that cannot do a
Because you're
port of the
holding it in
things
a
that a real
specific
human.
spot. You're holding it in a
Okay,
specific
but
spot.
listen. A lot of these women don't really like, a lot of grown women, because you and I are the same age. A lot of grown women apparently must not know their bodies then, because like the way women be talking, it's like they try to make it seem like every man is just out here just like not giving just grade A, just premium D, like they just giving like unleaded or something, like, and I don't think that's what's going on, like, and not from experience, okay? Because I'm a
And that's
heterosexual
also
man.
because a lot of women are getting with these men that they're not even sexually attracted to. And I had experienced that. So that is also a factor. You can't expect somebody to make you come if you're not attracted to them. If you're thinking about fucking their friend, if you're thinking about all these other things. And if you had a better man, if you had a man with 6 abs, if you had a man that were in the gym or whatever. Some of y'all are with these men and y'all know y'all not sexually attracted to them. Y'all just settling. And I've done that. So I can literally say it's because they're not sexually attracted to them.
That's a fact.
Yep.
Where are you located in the States?
I'm in New Jersey.
Oh, okay.
I can
Thank you for what?
But before I go, I could say here, I was in a relationship with a man for 2 years, and I messed around with his friend once after those 2 years, and in that 15 minutes, he accomplished everything I missed in those 2 years, only because he looked better, and I was actually sexually attracted to that friend, and not actually my boyfriend that I spent 2 years with. So my advice for young girls is, don't, because you want love, because you want that person next to you, don't just jump into a relationship with them because you want that company. You're gonna do that in your lifetime at some point, but just know it's not gonna turn out good, because you're gonna either cheat, they'll cheat, or something will happen where the universe won't let it go, because your heart is not in it. You're not being truthful with yourself. So
Okay, I gotta ask you
waste
one
the
more
time.
question now before you go. So you have the woman in this video talking about, yeah, I like being with like 6 men at one time and things of
Oh,
that nature.
I don't really care. But yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah. So listen, do you think part of the problem is, not only are a lot of these women, engaging in physical intimacy with men that they're not, sexually attracted to, but they've just had so much peen from so many different men that it's like, they they're damn near like comparing, when they get with a new person, they're like comparing that new person with whoever they felt put it down the best. And when that new person doesn't put it down like that person that they felt put it down the best, they're just low key kind of like turned off or disappointed, or like they just can't get there. Like, do you think that like there's an effect on women like that?
I don't think so. I think you're thinking about it in a man's standpoint. Women, when they get in a new relationship with a man, is actually, even if it's not sexual, there's something that makes them like that man. There's just something there, and I feel like that thing would cover up the fact that they're not sexually attracted to them. For the meantime, like for a while, you won't notice it because you're not really thinking of it that way. I think, to me. I mean, did I answer the question?
Yeah,
Yeah, because
again, I don't listen. I
right.
don't know why all these women are complaining like this, because listen, some every man might not be out here laying down, premium grade AD, but there's definitely men that are out here laying down premium grade AD. So for
Oh,
all these women to
100%.
be out here complaining, it's just, something's not adding up to me. That's
Yeah.
all.
Yeah. I
But
agree.
I appreciate you though. You're always welcome to come here, and you have a great night.
Yeah, you too.
All
No
right.
doubt.
I ain't gonna lie, y'all. I like her a lot.